Благодаря ви, господин Недялков. Уважаеми господин Паси.
Thank you, Mr. Nedyalkov. On behalf of Mr. Popov, allow me to express his gratitude for this opportunity to participate into this forum, and due to some urgent engagement, he could not come in person, and he asked me to present his viewpoints on the topics we've been discussing. I personally am related into coordination and logistics of the Chair of Defense. Coordination, it means that all the engagements of the Chair of Defense related to issues, to security issues in and outside Bulgaria. Let me give you an example. In the last month, the Chair of Defense, he met his peers in Athens, and he came back yesterday from Romania, a visit to Romania. And it all really provides the opportunity of discussing issues related to the regional security in order to find new solutions and best ways of preparing our military forces into meeting the newest challenges. It also includes the activities and operations of Bezmernovo Selo and Grafignatievo bases. We have quite dynamic troop exercises, mutual partnerships, and our military guys really enjoy many benefits in order to be well trained for future operations. Many good things were already mentioned, but allow me to only underline what is related to the military services. Significant changes appeared in the recent years, and we appreciate it and assess it. We also see demonstration of new forms of military operations. Extremist groups show their nose above the surface. We have massive migrant waves. All they affect the south and the east flank of the alliance. And let me also remind you that we are at the borders, we are the borderline related to east and south. We are the outer border of the alliance and the European Union. Some of the recent events, like Crimea's annexation, brought two additional military weapons into the territory, including warships, submarines, etc. Since the war and military presence has increased in this region, is changing the statu quo into bringing this balance in the military forces there, showing more strength on behalf of Russia in the area of control, the Black Sea region, increasing the control in the maritime transport, and disputes of delimitation of the exclusive commercial zones. It forced NATO and EU to provide approaches for their future development by building opportunities adequate to the new risk threats. In this regard, NATO developed a roadmap of activities performed by the alliance as a set of measures. First, improving security of all alliance assurance measures, the so-called assurance measures, and they are a set of activities related to enhancing security and protecting and stopping all illegal actions at the border lines. Then we also have adaptation measures, long-term provision of responsibility of the challenges we have recently had. Allow me to underline the main contribution of Bulgaria in carrying out all these measures of security provided by EU and NATO. They are focused in the main directions as follows: adapting strategic and doctrinal documents of the military documents in respect to the changed and amended situation. We also should be established an FIU, establishment of military fields and logistic centers for military troops in Bulgaria, participation in planning of strategic events with our representatives, establishment of conditions of mutual missions in protecting the airspace, the so-called air policing, together with, in partnership with other state members, providing venues and facilities for joint trainings, military trainings, with representatives of NATO and EU. On the 25th of November last year, we adopted a program for the development of the Defense Forces of Bulgaria 2020 as a basic document for the development of the military forces. And at the end of March, the Council of Ministers approved 3 investment projects in order to purchase new airships. We are about to get approval by the Council of Ministers to get additional funding in a new project and purchase one more military vehicle. Allow me to stop here, and I'm open to your questions. Thank you. Let's open the floor for questions and answers. A little while ago, you wanted to ask a question. The floor is yours. Thank you. My name is Mr. Kurchev. I'm a teacher at the University of Economy. A short comment in a couple of words, if you allow me. To colleagues who represent Caucasus, the idea of the integration theory is to provide opportunity for production, land and facilities to population that are far from the core of Europe. The practical implementation of this project, long time ago I visited Georgia. It's a beautiful country, but technically it is impossible to ask Georgia to participate and do some investments since it is so far. But Mexico, Canada and the United States have quite a different levels of development, but since they're neighboring countries, they have quite high level of integration processes. So if we suppose the problems with the visas and the physical access to people, EU members to other countries, it is a problem to these issues, then probably we may speak about of exporting of labor force, because Bulgaria, as a full right member of the EU, constantly exports brain. There is brain leakage, who go and do low-paid jobs because they are not they cannot participate in the high-paid jobs according to their profession. For example, there is a trend right now here in Bulgaria with the medical staff. Sooner or later, we are going to have nurses and physicians going to work abroad, and we are going to have a lack of medical staff here serving the Bulgarian populace. I wanted to ask a little while ago a question, but of course you didn't see me and you didn't give me the floor. When we speak about, when Mr. Pașcu said restoring the balance of forces just as it is interpreted by NATO as Turkey, for example, is a contradiction there is an internal contradiction for me. Okay, Turkey has the straits. In a certain way, it can calm down the interests of Russia for just about anything. If it starts expanding itself through the Black Sea region, since the door to the Black Sea are actually these are the straits, and Turkey has its hands on the straits, and we know it historically. It has happened like that. So what are the possible interests of Bulgaria and Romania as NATO members, state members, to participate on a standby with replying to annexing Ukraine? Is there any economical interest, and is it logical, since if it is only to counterstand Russia, if we decide to annex Ukraine to NATO or the EU?
I think, that we have to take into account what I already said, namely, that we should keep the interest of foreign investors and the investments which are in energy in this area open. Whatever we do, we should try to keep this, because it is in our interest and in the interest of the others. So everything which we do militarily would be to protect that, meaning, discouraging others who would like to prevent us getting the benefits, the economic benefits of that. So this is the logic.